Good morning, Tom. Nice to see you on the
See
second
you
day.
exactly bright early. Still very sunshiny here in Warsaw. Good weather in Wrocław.
No, outside today. Outside is not as nice as yesterday.
Very pretty here.
Unfortunately.
Okay, well, we'll see how it goes. Spring is coming for sure.
Yeah, but we have a lot of interesting topics today, so
We do. So let's get on it straight away. Yeah. So we have. Well, you want to start? You're going to start us off. Kick us off with the first story for the day.
Okay, the first story is connected with China. Chinese Tuopu opens in Poznań new factory and will employ 450 in electric car components. The total expenditure on the investment will reach about 30 million euros. The investor plans to employ, as I said, 450 people in the plant in Poznań.
Well, that's another win for Poznań. Congrats to Poznań. They've got a lot of deals lately. And they won at our event 2 weeks ago at our awards as the top city in Poland. So good for them. It's also interesting the Tuopo coming in. That's kind of indicative of the automotive suppliers, which are transforming their channels and distribution in the supplier network into the electric side. So Poland stands to benefit very much from that very strong manufacturing base for automotive. And you see this Chinese guys coming in, interesting and good for Poland, good for Poznań.
Yeah, yesterday we were talking about LG factory, so it's the next investment in Poland.
Exactly, yes.
The second news, Treasury bans sale of agricultural property agency. It is very popular among individual farmers due to the convenient way of using land and buildings. It doesn't require major financial commitments.
And I don't know if this is a purely political reason that has some, playing to the farmer base of peace. I'm not quite sure. So the more I say about it, the more likely I'll appear to be stupid. So I'll try to avoid commenting too much on that. The one thing I will say only is that this new regulation does not affect agricultural land sold for non-agricultural purposes. So many times I've been at MIPIM or Expo Real in Munich, and you see the Polish Agricultural Property Agency is selling land to commercial real estate developers. So it looks like that's off and not part of this regulation, which appears to be a good thing to continue investment in Poland from global real estate investors. Okay, what do we got next?
A lawsuit over green coal marketing. A lawsuit has been filed by client Earth Lawyers for Earth Foundation. Their aim is to stop a coal distributor from marketing its coal with a green label.
I love this one. Yeah. So some entrepreneur, and they have not named the company, is marketing their coal as eco coal. So funny. Great. Well, that's what the regulators are supposed to do, is shut those things down, which they're doing. Well, funny story. Great. Okay, next one.
PKO Bank targets energy transformation sector as European Union throws big money at the problem. In terms of the share of renewable energy sources in final energy consumption, Poland ranks 22nd among European Union countries.
Not good.
Not good, according to a new research report on the brink of a green revolution.
Yeah, well, I think what the real impact or the context of this is in the EU budget. They're throwing huge money at the green transformation, and Poland stands to benefit substantially from it. And I understand that there's 400 billion euros to be spent in the next 2 decades just in Poland on this energy transformation. So we'll look for more of that in the news coming up, because there's big money being thrown at it from the EU. So interesting to follow that story.
Yeah. The next one, Viola adopts gas-fired blocks as its dumps coal source. In Poznań, the construction of gas-fired units is to be completed in 2025, and the heat produced in them is to be delivered to residents in the season 2026-2027. At that time, the 2 oldest coal-fired units will be excluded from operation.
Well, here we go. More energy news, transformation news. Yeah. Even on a personal basis, I'm glad to see that coming, because that's going to be gas-fired electricity plants as opposed to coal-fired. And I don't know about in Wrocław, but every winter we got a smell of coal in Warsaw. So this will change that. It'll take a few years, but it's going to change it. Do you guys have that in Wrocław? in the wintertime?
We had a lot of problems in Wrocław with this. Now I'm living by the river, so it's better. But in the winter, it's really bad.
Yeah, so we'll see that changing in the next few years, and it's also being driven by the penalties for carbon dioxide emissions from the EU, and that's really putting major financial penalties on polluters. So again, good news for the transition.
New deal for hydrogen trains for Germany is good news for Chorzów. Alstom has signed a contract with the German LNVG carrier for the delivery of 34 Croatia Stream high-capacity double-decker trains. A significant part of the contract, worth nearly 760 million euros, will be produced in Alstom Konstal in Chorzów.
Well, this is we seem to be big on the energy news today. So this is
everything about this.
yeah. So it's these of course are compressed natural gas, or rather, excuse me, hydrogen powered trains for Germany, being produced in Poland. Good news for Chorzów, which is I think in Silesia, southern Poland.
Yeah, right? That's right.
Yeah, so good news for them. Interesting, good deal for Chorzów and Alstom Konstal.
Offshore wind boom in Baltic Sea draws top turbine maker. Siemens Gamesa Renewable Energy sees huge potential for offshore wind in the Baltic Sea as the world's largest producer of turbines at sea looks to take advantage of a jump in global demand.
Well, look, we're not going to be able to avoid following the energy transformation in Poland, and it looks like the offshore, we talked about it yesterday, it's coming big, it's coming consistently big, it's big money. It tends to be concentrated in the hands of very big producers, manufacturers, companies, because it's huge projects and technologically and engineering skill is so necessary at these huge offshore winds. But interesting, we'll follow that a lot, I'm sure, in the coming days and weeks and months.
Okay, now we are moving to mobile. Mobile tech Fortium partners with Plus on direct carrier billing. In Poland, credit card penetration is only 17%, while most people own a smartphone. Carrier billing resolves the problem of the majority of people being unable to pay for premium services.
Yeah, and so what's going on here is that imagine someone's playing a mobile game on their phone, and they don't have a credit card to pay it. So what they're doing is Plus is simply going to process a payment with Fortumo for that gaming. So it's a way to increase their percentage take in the mobile gaming business. Okay, we know that's going big, continuing to grow big. We'll watch that space also in the coming weeks and months.
And the last one, chicken flu outbreak scares United Kingdom importers. Officials from Poland and the United Kingdom have met virtually to discuss the safety of Polish poultry meat after it was linked to several outbreaks.
Well, what to say? I mean, everyone's going to be afraid of anything that's virus, flu related. I don't think it's a particularly big deal, but you never know. But I do think that it's interesting to see the price of chicken. Have you bought chicken in Poland in the last month or two? Prices have gone up a lot. Have you noticed it?
I'm lucky because my family home is at the village, so I have very natural. I can use very natural meat.
Right.
Chicken, so I don't buy chicken in Wrocław in supermarkets.
So maybe you're happy you're producing the chickens and selling them, so you're happy for a higher price. That may be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, that's not the last news, because we have one more that just came in, and that was a late night deal with the gaming company Huge, which just listed on the Warsaw Stock Exchange, and they just announced last night that they're buying a company in Wrocław called Piccadilly Games. And this is the first acquisition of this huge, it's called Huge, Huuge. They did a huge IPO on the Warsaw Stock Exchange back in February, $445 million. So big deal for the Warsaw Stock Exchange. And this acquisition is sort of a clear sign that Huge plans to do a lot of acquisitions and consolidation of the gaming business with their new war chest. So that's almost a $40 million acquisition done yesterday. Huge buying Piccadilly Games in Wrocław. We'll look for more of those such deals coming up pretty soon from Huge, guys. Huge deals from Huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else you got planned today? Back to work?
Back to work, and after work